see the
Yeah.
4,999.
She's capped on her friends.
But now I can add some more.
You can have me.
I'm capped. Yeah, you can add Joe. Yeah.
Oh, hey, the red light's
You
on.
should be.
Well, we should be live.
He
Yes.
just went red light. So
Yes. Welcome to the Why No Wine show, where we go live without even being told. It just happens.
I wasn't sure.
She's totally free when it comes to running the camera, so I certainly can't complain. Welcome to the Why No Wine show. I'm your host, Joe Orsack. Welcome to the Why No Wine show, where you can be friended and offended all in the same darn hour. That's right. We'll try hard to do both. Like the page, share the page, because we're on a mission here. Look, America has a serious problem. I genuinely believe this. America has lost the ability to disagree civilly. Right? We can't talk about anything sensitive without 30 seconds later you're being called a Nazi, a racist, and I'm going out to your parking lot to burn down your car. That's the way it goes these days, right? It's gotten a little bit nuts. And so we have this show so that we can discuss these sensitive issues and disagree about things and do it as friends over a great freaking glass of wine. What a novel idea. So, tune in, like and share the show. Hit the share button right now, if you would, please. Share it to your page. Invite your friends. We're recruiting everybody to be a part of this show because it is a mission that America desperately freaking needs. All right. Every show, we get to enjoy a fantastic wine. We're members of not all of us, but some of us are, members of a wine club that we get amazing wine from around the world, all over the place, and we get to enjoy these wines on a regular monthly basis. This week's wine is called, I don't know if you can see this on the screen. Ash, can you see this on the screen, by the way? Not really. All right. Take my word for it. It's called Miravas. Oh, zoom in, Ash. Do
I
a.
zoomed in, yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay.
extreme close-up.
Extreme close-up.
I don't know what you're talking
I look tan. That's
Do you look tan?
I look tan.
I
I didn't even go on.
Very red now, but tan.
I kick up the color a little bit. So
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
That's for
Absolutely.
you.
Miravas from Argentina, Mendoza, Argentina, heart of the Malbec land. I am super biased about this wine. I almost don't want to say anything about it because it's such a great doggone wine. I don't want to bias my guests, but you know what? We start drinking an hour before the show, so they've already heard it. No big deal. It's a great wine. We're going to rate the wine at the end of the show. Everybody here except for Steve has had this wine, hasn't had this wine, so it's going to be a new experience. We'll get a new set of eyes on how this, or I guess new tongue,
Right, at the end of the show,
how,
we're gonna
how
rate
great
it.
this wine is. At the end of the show, we're going to rate it. I'm going to go ahead and bust open the bottle here, and I'm going to start pouring some wine as our guests introduce themselves, and we always start on the right side of the room. So, Joe,
Yes.
shameless plugs. Tell us who you are and anything you feel like promoting while I pour you a glass of wine,
Thank
sir.
you. My name is Joseph. I'm 26 years old. I really don't have a shameless plug, Joe.
That's okay. You're
I'm
here.
All right, me.
I'm here for the
Watch
wine.
wine.
That's pretty much what I'm here for.
Wine, no wine.
Yes.
So don't whine about it.
Yeah.
You're next.
No whining.
Awesome. I'm Amber Townsend. I'm also the host of In 8 Seconds TV and Amber Townsend Presents, and we have a ton of different events coming up. So
We do.
I will share. Yeah, we've got something. Actually, 2 events next Saturday.
Equality.
And so I'll share everything on my page, and I won't give a whole list of everything because that's not fair to you guys. But I will share everything on my page. So connect.
All right.
All right, my name's Justin Gordon. I'm a businessman, but my shameless plug is there's a petition for Houston firefighters to have equal pay with HPD. If you go to, maybe you Google it and do your own research, you'll see that firefighters haven't had the same raises as a lot of the other public servants have had recently. And so there's a petition up in November that they need a little over 20,000 signatures for. So my shameless plug is Houston Fire Department. You probably see them at your grocery stores, post offices, but they're trying to get a lot of signatures for the petition to get on the ballot in November.
Perfect.
Where do they go to sign that petition?
You
Do
know, the Houston Professional Firefighters Association, they have a web page and a Facebook page. If you find that, you can do that, and you can find it there. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Guys, be sure to sign the petition. That is definitely a worthwhile cause. I have a bunch of firefighter friends that have really gotten hosed on that deal. So definitely,
Fuck that.
you saw that. That was good, huh?
Yeah. You worked that in. That's
Be sure
pretty clever.
to help them out, sign the petition. They need to be supported. So, Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Steve Williams, and I'm the resident grapehead. I've just really, I'm kind of like a lot of people. I don't really have a shameless plug. I'm still struggling from week to week to figure that out. But if anything, I am an elected official in Harris County, and probably one of the lowest rungs on the political ladder. But where things really get done, where the first touch that you make in your political chain of command, so to speak. But it's been fun for over 25 years. I've represented a small Southeast Harris County precinct, and looking forward to doing that for quite some more time. So I'm going to toss it back to Joe, and we'll get started with it today.
All right. Well, as always, I'm struggling with technology. Have some more wine, Joe. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. The show is not coming up, so I'm on my deal.
I'm not getting
Yeah,
a
you're there.
notification either.
I don't know why. I'm not getting.
I didn't either.
You're
I'm not
looking to use
getting
my
it.
phone.
Well, no, I just need to share it to my page, which is what I'm trying to accomplish here. So I don't know. All right, so, anyway, we talked about like a gabillion things. Guys, I want to say that, and let's see. What's up, Joe? How's your neck? Eric, thanks for tuning in, brother. Hey, Ash, can you make it any bigger at all? Because I forgot to put my glasses back on. Our monitor, we're monitoring the comments, which is what I was about to say. Be sure to comment on the show. Tune in and comment because you are as much as part of the show as everybody here. This is a live interaction show. If you have a great comment, we'll discuss it on the show, especially if I can see it. So that will help. My daughter's working on getting the comments bigger right now so that I can see them on the monitor. But anyway, comment. Eric, how's my neck? I don't know if y'all know or not. I was in a 9-car pileup on Easter Sunday. Literally broke my neck. And it sounds way worse than it was. It was like no injury that was threatening, like, can't walk. Thank you. Nothing like that. But I did have a broken bone in my neck. And it definitely sucked from couldn't sleep for like 2 weeks. Because, like you try to lay down any direction, it hurts like hell. So anyway, neck's a heck of a lot better, man. And still was totally out of karate for 2 weeks. And then it was light duty karate for a couple weeks, and we tested for our black belt. My son and I, about a month and a half ago, both of us passed. We haven't gotten our ceremony yet, but it's coming up in August. I'm definitely going to put out pictures and everything to pump that up because that was a big deal in both of our lives, something we worked on for 4 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And so anyway, neck is a lot better. Thanks for asking, Eric. Phil's tuning in. Melissa Scott's tuning in. Mike Marshall tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Be sure to comment. We're going to jump into some topics right now. We were all over the place. I mean, like, all over the place.
I'm the only girl.
She's the only girl, right?
I don't know if y'all noticed that earlier.
Right.
I take notice of those things.
Really? Yeah, it was on our radar. So, anyway, we were all over the place in topics. If you guys have something that's on your mind, chime in the comments because we may address that as well. But something that we kind of gravitated to, Steve was kind of hot to trot on this subject, so to speak, and that's with the whole repeal and replace Obamacare. And by the way, Eric said, praise Jesus for that. Amen, man. God looks out for me. What can I say, man? I live a blessed life, no doubt. And we need some Jesus on this Obamacare because it's definitely got a little ridiculous. The Republicans ran on the whole premise of repealing Obamacare. And then, before the election, suddenly, they're all working in these repeal and replace comments. And the media didn't give it a whole lot of coverage, and it just started becoming part of the language. And now we're dealing with these new flavors of health care, government subsidized, whatever you want to call it, health care. And, my question is, should government be involved in health care? There's definitely places around the world where that's the case. I mean, look at Canada, look at a lot of different European countries, that sort of thing. I've heard arguments on both sides of the aisle. I've heard people talking about how great medicine is in Canada, yet all of them come down here for heart surgery. Explain that one to me. But anyway, I'm not biased.
Not one bit.
Not one bit. Not one bit. So, Steve, you were hot to trot on this. This is a subject you brought up. So
I can attack
into
this in several ways, and a lot of people that I associate with have heard it before. I feel that constitutionally, government, and this is something that David Pipkin, one of our other co-hosts, would chime in on as well, because he's a strict constitutionalist, and of course I carry mine in my pocket because I'm a constitutional geek. But in any event, I have never seen anything within that document that gives the government the authority, constitutional authority, to do anything out of that bailiwick. So when they try to do something that's not constitutional, most of us try to come in and we'll try to find a way to make it work. But in this case, it's just not going to happen because it is not constitutional. And as far as I'm concerned, all the examples of socialized medicine, which is basically they force Obamacare on us, very partisan vote. The Democrats own it. And all it was designed to do, in my opinion, was to fail, so that they could go to the next step, which is a single-payer system, which is where it truly is a socialized medicine, where government will tell you and you and you and you how long we're going to take care of you. We have a great example of this in England right now, where there's a little baby who has a very serious brain condition that requires sustained artificial life support. And the British socialized medicine system wants to unplug it, decide what the parents want to do. And the parents have raised $1 million or so for care that baby could get over here in the United States. There is a New York doctor that would love to take care of this baby. I think that's admirable. I think that should be allowed to happen, in my opinion. So, but the government's coming in and saying that basically the hospital is right. We cannot afford to maintain this unsustainable care. So, okay, they want to go ahead and terminate that life without the parents' input, without any kind of legal process. And they're trying like hell to save that child. And so this is what we get with a socialized healthcare system. This is an extreme example. And that is unacceptable to someone like me who values life. So, yes, it is a trying time, but that child should be given every chance to receive care that may give it a chance to have a life. Let's roll the dice. We're better people than this, and the idea of socialized healthcare, in my opinion, is almost a non-starter. I don't believe in it. I don't think it really is as effective. I don't think that anything government does in regards to healthcare is working. It just, they have all their regulations and rules and things like that to protect us, but as far as I'm concerned, it feels like handcuffs for doctors. Doctors stop caring and stop working sometimes with patients if they know that they're not going to make money on this. Some doctors do it pro bono because they consider healthcare as a calling. That's admirable. I want to see that continue. But people that go into the medical field, go through the school, and they see how much insurance they're going to have to get to cover any kind of malpractice, that's a big chunk of their practice. And that's why you see a lot of them go in there and they team up and form these little cliques that care for specialty things, And so, to me, we are so hindered now even though we have the best medical system in the world, it is starting to get, the cuffs are going on.
So real quick, Eric, you said, Eric Ashworth chimed in, he said, yes, we do. I don't know what that was in response to, but I'm guessing, Eric, that was when I said, do we need government involved with healthcare? If you said, yes, we do, let me know if that's your point and chime in
Absolutely.
as to why we need government involved in healthcare. And a side note, Ash, I don't know if you can figure it out, but can you figure out a shorter zoom distance so that we're not like super zoomed in all the time? because Steve was huge on the screen there. Nothing against Steve being
No,
huge on the
I
screen.
do fill up the frame.
We're all a little
Yeah.
That's
So anyway, so should government be involved in healthcare? That's the question. For me, I'm a capitalist through and through, man, and I'm not a fan of government. I don't trust government. Anytime we put the power in the hands of a few people, that turns into a bad thing. And you can see that throughout history. There's a great chart that shows moving from tyranny to rebellion, moving from rebellion to freedom, from freedom to prosperity, from prosperity to apathy, from apathy to complacency, from complacency to tyranny. And it's just a circle.
That is a cycle, and that's
you
a
see
very
that
very
all-
ancient
Yeah,
cycle.
you see that throughout history. And so anytime we give government power, it leads to tyranny. It leads to oppression. Power in the hands of a few people ends up in negating our freedom. So I'm not for government being big brother who has to step in and save us from our idiotic selves because we can't plan for our future. And I don't think we should have any kind of taxes taken out of our paycheck to be saving for the future. History shows I can do a hell of a lot better saving money than the government can, right? I don't need you taking out money for me to save for my future because you'll spend it. That's exactly what you've done, right? So why in the hell should I trust you to take care of my medical situation? It's no different. That's my stance. So I know you have something to chime in on that. You're chomping at the bit. I can see it.
So I just thought about this. So something that, so I was at a business networking meeting, and there was a doctor there that was trying to get everyone to buy in to come to his clinic, right? To only come see him, give me your money, give me just a little bit of money up front, we'll manage it for you, we'll hold it so that when you come in, certain things are already paid for. So number one, what are they doing with that money? Then, someone that's very dear to me, we went to the doctor and did the same thing. They sold him that same package while I was out in the hallway. If I was in there, that would have never happened, right? But he's so sweet. And oh, sure, no problem. I just bought this health and wellness plan. How often do you go to the doctor? Only went before I go overseas. All right, so you're never sick, and you just pay for this membership. And believing whatever they said was wrong with you, which there's nothing to prove that anything was wrong with you. You just came in to get one prescription that you have to get each month, or, and so he's paying for this membership now that he's not using. So I thought that was pretty clever, and it all started, actually, Obamacare probably opened up that door for them, right? So that these doctors can say, oh, don't pay that monthly fee. Why don't you just give it to me? I just thought about this. I didn't think about that earlier. But
It's brilliant.
But they do. Have you ever heard?
You can get away with it.
Yeah, have you heard of
That,
it?
Yeah, I've heard
that
that
rug
before.
was elevated about 3 feet off the floor,
They held
and
the-
now all these doctors are kind of getting in there and doing this.
are.
And you know what? I never fault somebody for making money. If you want to make money, man, make money.
Right.
And we'll figure out a way to make it work. But
Sure.
this whole idea about government telling you have to, or we're going to penalize you.
I agree.
That's when a certain gesture
I
comes to
agree.
mind,
Most
and
ex-
I know what direction to send it.
Yes.
So
I agree.
there's a lot, and I'm not alone in this sentiment. If you've been in politics as long as I have, you get a kind of a chance to really develop a mindset to, oh, okay, Obamacare, okay, that sounds really socialized. Yeah, kind of like European light and English and Canadian medicine. Yeah, why do people come to the United States now to actually get the work done?
And it's not
You know.
free insurance. It's people think that it's free. It's not free insurance. You have to pay
Nothing
for
is
it.
ever free.
You have to pay for it each month. As a matter of fact, Randall was saying he pays quite a bit of money. I was on disability for many years. I pay for my insurance.
And you
It
have
is
to
not
wonder
free.
if you-
I pay
Let's
for it out
pretend-
of my disability.
Let's pretend.
Food insurance. I have to have insurance because I'm legally disabled from medical issues. I can't. My prescriptions, I pay cash for because I don't have. So
You don't have a prescription plan.
no, when you're on disability, you have major expenses and little income. It makes no
Let's
sense.
pretend
Sorry.
that you didn't.
That's an excellent point. That deserves a ching here.
Thank you. It's like,
there
wow,
you go.
you
See,
know? How
we
scary
do
is
this
that?
when somebody
We'll
makes a
cling to
good
that.
point.
Clink, clink.
Come on, man, don't leave us hanging here,
I don't
dude.
know if I'm
There we go. See how that works?
I'm gonna make a real big. I'm gonna make a quick point. If you were gonna jump in on something or no?
No.
Oh, you're just commenting
I'm
that
just
you haven't
gonna
commented
agree
yet.
with everybody. I'm
Yeah.
No, you don't have to agree.
I concur.
Joe is just here for the free wine.
I
So
concur.
there we go. Yeah, that's a great point, Joe. That's a great point. No matter what anybody says, I'm going to attribute it to being Joe's comment from now on. So the rest of the show.
Anytime,
Great point,
call
Joe.
me, Joe. I'll
Great
be
point.
here anytime.
Yeah.
Next week.
Listen, let's pretend for a second that you never came out of pocket ever again for any of your medical expenses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Is it free?
I never came out of pocket.
Right.
If it never
No, 'cause
came
someone-
out of your purse,
Let's
your
say
pocket,
we
never.
wave a magic wand, and tomorrow you go to the doctor, you don't get a bill. It's free.
Oh my gosh,
There's
I'm rich.
nothing free.
250,000 back in my pocket. Someone's paying for it.
There's nothing
Yes.
Someone's paying for
There
it.
I would submit. David Pipkin is calling me. Oh my gosh.
Why is David calling you while the show is on? David, stop it.
David, why are you calling during the show?
He probably doesn't have the feed because I haven't been able to share it yet. So anyway,
He's asking, no show today? We are live.
What's up with that?
and I wasn't able to share it.
It's on the screen. I'm texting David Pipkin right now to tell him we're live.
I can't log
Picture right here.
Yes.
I couldn't log on
Yes,
either.
it's picture.
I can't do it.
I can't either.
So I don't know what the deal is. I grabbed somebody else's and shared it.
I know I like the page.
So there
That-
it is right there.
I had to go to
Page.
your real page. This one.
Okay, I don't know
Your real
why.
page, like this.
My real
I'm
page.
doing it, and
Yeah.
it's just not working.
I don't know why.
Did you share
Because you don't have an iPhone.
I did. I shared it.
Oh well, okay.
How
Well,
about that?
crap.
There's a disagreement right there.
I don't-
iPhone, Apple.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what
You're
the
having
deal
problems,
is.
too. You don't have an iPhone.
I don't know what the deal is, but we got it shared. It's live, and people are tuning in. So I don't know. Listen, Ben,
Oh, you should.
we got a number of comments here. So I'm going to say Don Kozlowski said it's free for too many people. That's the problem.
He liked it. Oh my.
Yeah, there you go. It's free for too many people. That's the problem. Don said that. Now we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Okay.
All right. Ben Pfeiffer said if you are over 65, it's free. Help for Texas real estate agents.
What? What's that?
Free help for Texas. Ben, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, Ben.
Let us know what you mean by that.
Expand on that.
Yes. Robert, thanks for tuning in. Julia, thanks for tuning in. Justin, thanks for tuning in. Tamara, thanks for tuning in. Ed Camp, thanks for tuning in. Everybody's tuning in. Guys, y'all chime in on this. We're talking about healthcare and should government be involved in our healthcare? And if healthcare is free, is it really free? This is my point. So I was going to say to this, if we waved a magic wand and you went to the doctor tomorrow and you needed whatever services you need and you leave and there's no bill, is it free?
No.
No, it's not freaking free.
Because there's still medical expenses.
There's still
Somebody-
medical expenses that are paid by someone somewhere.
That's true.
There is no such thing as a free ride,
That is true.
period, ever. So it's such a selfish concept
Sure.
to say, I want free healthcare.
Right.
It's such a selfish concept. You know what? I do life insurance. I sell life insurance. One of the things that pisses me off more than anything, Don, my buddy who just tuned in and commented earlier, shared this with me, got me all riled up yesterday, a GoFundMe page for somebody who had passed away and didn't have any money to bury themselves. So now they're trying to convince society to bury them. Give me or my family free money because I was too freaking irresponsible to prepare for my own death. So now I need you to chip in and cover my, irresponsibility. That just pisses me off to no end. Especially,
I think the whole idea behind it is that it creates inefficiency, deficiencies, and a dependence, and it encourages irresponsibility.
Sure.
Don said, he chimed in on this point. I'm sorry, Steve. He said,
all right.
one less cell phone and you could have had $500K in life insurance. Abso-freaking-lutely right.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I understand that.
Of all of the insurance out there, life insurance is like the most affordable. It's the cheapest, especially when you're young. You can get a 30-year policy for like next to nothing. Like if you're in your 20s, I mean literally it's like 20-something bucks a month, right? But nobody wants to think about it. Nobody wants to deal with it. They'd rather go get their frappuccino with, extra shots of espresso and whatever else and avoid that kind of responsibility. If you have a child, I'm sorry, I'm just going to rail on you if you don't have life insurance. I'm
Well,
sorry.
what is the-
Unless you've got a buttload of money sitting in the bank, cash, liquid, that if you died, now your kiddos are protected and taken care of, great. I have no beef with you. But if you're like most Americans and you're like, knee high in debt or neck high in debt, and you don't have life insurance and you've got kids, man, come over. I will slap you. I'm telling you, it's horrible. Take care of your freaking responsibilities. But it all speaks to, and I'll finish with this, and then I'll let you, because I know you're chomping at the bit. I can tell. It all speaks to our characteristics of our current society, where we expect other people to toe our freaking line. Right? I need you to pay for me. I need you to pay for me. I don't care whether it's a cell phone. I don't care whatever it is. Take your pick. I need you to toe the line for me. I want to be able to sit at home, eat Cheetos, Doritos, whatever that I got with my government subsidized food care plan, and I want you to pay for my health care, and I want you to be able to send me to college, and I want you on and on the list goes. And health care is just a new flavor of that.
Sure.
Right?
Yep.
There's an ancient text that says a little rest, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands, and starvation will come upon you like a thief in the night. I believe in that principle, right? We were meant to get up and work to produce.
Sure.
To produce. Now, there's some people who, extenuating circumstances, there's always an exception. I'm not, railing against everybody in that situation. But generally speaking, I'm like, you know what? How about this idea? I'll take care of my own health care. I don't need you to pay for me. Right? And you know what? If I don't have health care, there's a problem. There is a problem with the system. The system needs to be freaking fixed.
In what way do you?
I want to talk about that, but I want to give her
Okay.
time. I want to give her
Go.
time. Tamara said, real quick, I'm going to say the comments. David Piggin, hi everybody. David here. Technical difficulties on my end, apparently. David, we were all having some issues. I don't know what the deal is. Glad to see you on the show. Keith, thanks for tuning in, buddy. Chris, thanks for tuning in. Juan Jose Diaz, thanks for tuning in. Tamara said, I have a PDF on ER hospital prices.
Per service.
Per service. Holy cow, that'd be a great PDF to share.
Lots of zeros.
Yeah, lots of zeros.
Yes.
We're going to get to that, Tamara. That's a great comment. We're going to get to what's the solution.
Bring her
right?
back on the show.
Yeah,
Sure.
you need to be on the show again, Tamara. You were great. I want to have you on the show again. So anyway, you're chomping at the bit to talk here. So, you got the floor. Run.
So what I was thinking, and I know a lot of viewers out there too, and it's kind of funny because I know it happens to everyone, but when you go online to get I try to go be proactive. For instance, I go online right now. So I try to find health insurance, life insurance, and I fill out one form, right? 5,000 people call me. They're blowing up my phone. They're trying to sell me a package that all I want to do
Had the same
is pay
experience.
my $30 per month or my $150. Do not call me. I've already talked to 10 other people. Quit blowing up my phone in the middle of the night. Quit trying to solicit me to get your commission.
Very true.
And I can tell you, and that's what stopped me before. And honestly, speaking from other people, same situation. How do I go online? Whenever I do go online, this is what happens to me, and I have to block all these calls from all these salespeople. Because I would love to sit down with you and sign up with you, because I know, love, and trust you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want somebody blowing up my phone. And I don't even know who's the best. I know who's the best as far as whenever I look at tickers and stocks and that sort of thing, I can tell who's selling those policies. But who is the best? And so I think that's probably why a lot of people give up on that unless you work for a company that says, we have Aetna, which plan do you want? Sign here. Because a lot of people, and I'm sure your company too, goes to the actual companies and signs those contracts and presents
Look,
them to
shameless
the-
plug,
yeah.
since I'm all about shameless plugs, and I
sure.
don't give them normally
No, go
myself,
ahead.
so
Yeah.
this is a great, open door for Joe here.
Sure.
I broker.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe in brokering.
Yeah.
I could give a crap less about AIG or Prudential or whoever else.
Okay.
I don't owe them anything. I put in your data, shop the price, whoever comes back at the best, that's who my client's going with.
Perfect.
I only write with A-rated or better companies.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
weed out the chaff.
Perfect.
But you know what? It's a great point because most people, when it comes to life insurance, want to sit down with somebody and talk to somebody. They do.
We do.
That's human nature.
We do.
For whatever reason, that's
What is
reality.
the percentage of the customer base that you have on life insurance? And this is for my own personal edification. What is the purpose? Somebody comes into your office and says, "I want life insurance." Is it one of two things? Is it that they want to create an inheritance base for their children or their family,
Great.
or is it, hey, when I shed this mortal coil, I just basically want to be planted in the ground, no expense to my family, and a couple of people that want to show up and say bye. That's it. Is that generally the onset, or are there other reasons? Is
Yeah.
it an investment?
So I'll tell you, there's a few primary motivators. David said you need to talk louder. He's old.
Oh.
That's what he said.
Trying to hear it. No,
Ed Camp said Joe is letting other people talk and it's killing him.
Yeah, I agree.
True
Not
story.
like me.
True story.
Two hosts. No.
Yeah, Ed's been on the show, so he knows. Yeah. So look, there's three main motivating factors when people get life insurance: marriage, right? Birth of a child, purchase of a home. Those are the three top motivators for when people get life insurance.
Oh, that's scary.
Yep.
So what happens
So-
if people don't have life insurance and go on a GoFundMe?
Exactly. So
Or their family is after they're dead. Yeah.
so most of the time in those scenarios,
Wow.
they're saying, something happens to me, I want to make sure that the bills are paid.
Sure.
That's really the biggest motivator for most people. I will tell you though, from a break the cycle of poverty kind of a deal, for very small amount of dollars, especially if you do it early on, $20, $30 tops a month, you could leave your family $500,000. And for a family that was, growing up in poverty, that could radically change their lives.
Isn't that a way to get like murdered though?
There have been
Yeah,
a
price
lot of
on
TV
that.
shows about
There's a lot of-
hey,
yeah.
My
So-
mother told me that when I first got married.
That's why I
She's
don't
putting a
have
price
life
in there to
insurance.
agree that.
I have to tell you
Yeah.
something about your
Listen.
mom.
I literally
This
said,
is why I do not have life insurance. See, I'm a step ahead. Joe.
He's like, if I do that, somebody's
I'm
going
a
to
step
kill me.
ahead.
You're just thinking that nobody's going to kill you if you don't have life insurance.
That's like my parents don't have a will. My dad's dying. He does not have a will. I'm like, Dad, you're dying.
you gotta have a freaking will.
You know what's going to happen? I'm going to have to get a GoFundMe to bury him.
Listen, that's how you solve it, by the way. When you get life insurance, you spell out the will.
Oh.
recipient?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you spell out the conditions of how that money's to be
And
Why
I'm
did
used.
he not
donating
do
my
that?
body to
Anybody
science.
can do it.
Did he not do that?
Huh?
Did he not do that already? Is he have a will and I just don't know?
I don't know. He could have. That's totally his call. It's his prerogative.
There might be a lot of lawyers
Which,
and
by the
judges that
way-
handle probate.
Which, by the way,
Good one.
guys,
I pray they
cheap plug,
I don't
Will Maker Pro, great little program you can pay like 50, 60 bucks for, and it has all the forms laid out. Get them notarized, submit them. It's not as
Easy
good as
breezy.
using an attorney.
Is it really?
It's not as good as using an attorney,
Okay.
but it is infinitely better than not having anything and
Anything
going
at
to
all.
probate.
That's
So we got some comment. Ash, can you scroll back?
Blind.
Yeah, we're all leaning in. Think about the incentives that
Oh,
creates. Yes.
Really, Randall?
I'm going to address that. Randall said, Ed said, remember, if you don't have a will in Texas, the state gets 50% of your assets.
That's right.
That's a freaking great comment, Ed. Randall said, life insurance is a great tool for someone
I
to
had too
dig
much
their
assets.
to dig their future
That's why you-
generation
that's
out
why
of
you have
As
poverty.
much as I love
Assets.
Texas,
Can you,
I don't want to
have
get
no
any
scroll
of my
back to
assets.
Don's
Assets.
comment?
Whoa.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. So I know Don said something. So anyway, to your point, right?
Right.
I've as fun.
Forensic files, Joe.
Yeah.
Here?
Forensic
Don
files.
said insurance so the wife can pay off the house without having to replace me.
Oh.
Yes.
You're gonna
Yes.
get replaced regardless.
Right. Think about it. Think
It is
about
what
it.
it
I didn't think
Listen.
life insurance was going to be a topic.
I know. This is how conversation goes.
Yeah.
So listen,
Well, the sugar
I
daddy.
tell folks on a regular
Yeah.
basis, look, do you want your wife to have to remarry because of necessity?
Well, I'll be dead, so I won't care.
Yeah, but now we're on this side of it having this conversation.
That's
Do you
true.
want her?
That's
Do you want her to have to shack up out of necessity, or because she grieved for 5 years and finally got over you and met someone she could fall in love with? I'd rather the latter than I need to hook up because the bills ain't getting paid.
Let her do
So-
her thing. Let her
Do
do
that
her
all the
thing.
time.
Yeah, that's
You
a
have to
horrible
divorce.
position to be in, man. So
Cut
I'm
your-
like, look, take care of your responsibilities. I mean, we have freaking all the cable channels. We're slapping down the frappuccinos, all this kind of stuff.
Kofifi.
And Kofifi.
Kofifi.
We're slamming down the Kofifi.
Yeah, exactly.
And yet we
Oh.
don't have insurance to protect our families. It's so freaking irresponsible. I don't care if you get it through me or somebody else. I generally don't. Take care of your business. If you don't have it, get it taken care of. Take care of your families. Make sure your loved ones are protected, right?
How
So-
did we ever survive before insurance came
I-
along to do this?
We just, not talking about me, but we were talking earlier about health issues, and whenever I went into a coma, literally I was sick, dying for 3 days, didn't know to go, that I could go to Benton. I was too scared to go because I didn't have insurance and I was too honest, so I didn't know that you could go and be taken care of. And someone dropped me off or took me to the hospital, literally left me there, and I had major surgery and was in a coma for 3 days, and my family had no idea.
David said real quick on this point, he said, my wife often reminds me of the face value of the life insurance policy she carries on me, just to keep me in line.
Do you know how much you're
Who
worth?
said that? Who said that?
David.
David and Whine.
David Pipkin.
David is a smart man.
Yes. So I have only half jokingly attributed my great marriage to the amount of life insurance that I have.
Right?
The best compliment my wife ever paid to me was when I signed the second 7-figure policy. I said, baby, I'm not worth this much debt. Please don't get any ideas.
Yeah.
And she looks at me and she kind of, gets this little smirk on her face and she says, I think you'll be worth more. I'll keep you around.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's the sweetest thing anybody's ever said to me. You're not going to kill me.
Save for at least another
Right,
7 years.
because my wife's like the cute little beauty pageant queen that everybody loves. No one would ever suspect her. Yet she watches all these freaking CSI, like unsolved crime
That's what I'm
shows.
saying.
Find out how to clean up the blood
That's what I'm
stains.
saying.
Right.
We've seen that channel.
I would be in
on
a
See what I'm
shallow
saying?
grave in the woods and nobody would ever suspect her. She would 100% get away with it. So I've got to be on my best behavior. David, we're right here, buddy. I see you.
I
We're
am
on
really
the same
glad that
page.
my wife is right now not watching this show. She's down in Mexico right now, and she can't get the feed, so I can generally say whatever it is that I want. And
Yes.
hopefully nobody else that friends me knows I'm going to tell Esther on you.
Yeah,
Oh, come on, no.
All right, so
Good education for me.
Yes.
So we segued off into life insurance.
Yeah.
Totally unscripted on that one.
Yeah.
But I love it. If you need life insurance, call
Call
Joe.
Joe.
Right? I'm there for you, buddy. I'll help you out. Anyway, back to health insurance. And I know you had a situation.
My company, I was working for LA Fitness. They did not offer life insurance. Dun-dun-dun. Does that make sense? Absolutely none, right?
You're fit. You don't need it.
Yeah.
All right, so you look, group policies. If you have a life insurance through your work, and we're still on life insurance. If you have life insurance through work, right, that's great, but that's gravy. Own your own freaking policy because thank God no one ever gets laid off or fired, right? Right?
That
Like-
was sarcasm.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
that
no,
was-
I know.
yes.
It doesn't get transferred
In case you
a
didn't
lot of times. I never
That's
thought.
almost
I
where
never
it's a
thought
claim.
about that. That was
So
awesome of it,
yeah. So
Yeah.
think about it. You're at work. You get a group policy. You've been there like a year and a half, and you get diagnosed with a disease that is now excluding you from receiving life insurance anywhere else.
Sure.
You get fired. You get laid off. You no longer have life insurance, and you can't get life
I
insurance.
didn't realize it didn't transfer.
Yeah,
In some cases.
It does not.
All right.
Right. So anytime you have life insurance in a work setting, look at that as gravy. That's a bonus. It's extra. Fantastic. Now my wife is going to get doubled up, or my husband's going to get doubled up. But own your own doggone policy because you never want somebody else to be in control of who owns your policy.
Sure.
That's all I'm going to say about life insurance. I totally did not plan on talking about life insurance.
And really, when you get right
Sure
down
you
to it,
did.
the obviously the political side of this is that government loves control. They absolutely hate. They would rather drive spikes through their eyeballs than give up the control. And that's what this AHCA plan is, where they've retained a lot of the provisions in tax revenue generation that have nothing to do with health insurance in the Republican plan that has now been on the table. Now, everybody will sit there and say, well, we went from 2,000 pages down to about 137 pages or something like that the last I heard. I could be wrong. Somebody can correct me on that. But the thing is they retain the taxing mechanisms, which was originally what this was all about.
But was
Control.
that not the freaking plan to begin with? Because the
Yeah.
Republican Party is the same as the doggone Democrat Party. We have a system of one party that's faking us out with this whole Republican Democrat thing. It's all the same doggone party. That's how I see it. That's how I feel
And where
about
the
it.
Democrats were all in lockstep when they passed Obamacare, they own it, okay? And it has failed. It was designed to fail. It was designed, to present
fail.
one of two things were going to happen. They were either going to go to a single-payer system before Obama left office, or the Republicans were going to try to do the nice thing, and we're going to come up with our own plan. You can tag it whatever you want. And look at what's happening with that. There's a handful of Republican elected officials who are saying no, 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 no. And
Yes.
that's what's keeping us from doing the wrong thing. And with that repeal that they campaigned on and the replace, which morphed into the narrative after the nomination and leading up into the election last year, a lot of us who were paying attention to this were saying, no, you did not campaign.
Yeah.
You're now going to the election with this whole replacement nonsense, and you don't even have a plan. You were hedging your bet on getting the White House, the House of Representatives, and the Senate. Okay, you got all that, and what are you doing? You're doing the same damn thing that the Democrats are doing, and yet
'Cause it's the same freaking party.
you don't have a consensus on that.
I
So,
wanna hear your
great point,
opinion
Joe.
on this.
I wanna
Thank
hear
you,
your
Joe.
opinion.
That's a great point, Joe.
Go, Joe.
I appreciate it.
I
Toss
concur.
You concur. Thank you.
concur.
I like this.
I
See,
use that
he's here for the
I like
wine.
this.
I
guy.
used that yesterday.
He needs another.
You did?
I swear to God.
You're smart.
I
Only smart people use
I
that word.
concur.
Joe, what's on your mind?
Well, I concur, Joe. I concur.
That uncomfortable pause was brought to you by.
No, that was the feed. It slowed down.
It's okay.
Jamila, thanks for tuning in, girl. Milton, thanks for tuning in. Randall Martin, hey, man, it's the first time you made it on the show, brother. Man,
All right, good
I
deal.
appreciate you hopping on. Hey, Randall, I'm gonna ask you guys, Milton, I'm gonna ask you, Jamila, I'm gonna ask you, y'all all new to the show, first time tuning in. We're talking about government health care. And should freaking government be involved in our health care? Should government be over it, in charge of it, subsidizing it, etc.? So feel free to hop in and comment on that, right?
I look pretty good on camera, Joe. I gotta say that.
You know,
You got a
I
great
really don't
skin,
look
You
like
got
that.
a great skin tone, you know, man. It look good on camera. You know,
I really don't look like that.
I mean,
in
you
real
look
life.
better than Pitbull.
yeah.
Really?
David said the Republicans are passing 90% of the same damn plan,
Yep.
and they're calling it a repeal. It's a joke. Exactly.
Who said that?
David.
Yeah. Rock and roll, David.
So, my take is that they're the same party, and they're in cahoots, and they're bought out by the same corporations, and
Need some of that?
and
Oh, you still got some.
yeah, help them out. And therefore, if that's the case, if they're bought out by the same corporations and they're under the same motivations, would their behavior be the same? They set up Obamacare, as you said, to fail, so that they could put into place something that they wanted to put into place, which
And
is
Joe,
just
that
another
really
flavor of it.
comes from years of understanding the political process and how it benefits those that want to retain or gain more control over our lives, and that goes against every founding principle that this country was created for. I mean, life, liberty,
the
and
feed on this
pursuit of happiness. Those are stated in that big fat document that we like to go and visit every now and then. But until more people understand the danger of a situation that we're in right now, the precarious nature of it. I mean, you used to talk about $20 trillion in debt. Well, guess what? That's, there's a lot more debt than that, and it is unsustainable. We are precariously on the edge, if we're not already tumbling over the cliff, that, one bad thing could happen, and boy, there goes the bubble. And this conversation right here might not be able to be had after something like that. They're going to have to lock it down. And, that sounds very conspiratorial, but you know what? It happens all around the world. And that segues really good into the next thing when you mention net neutrality.
Yeah.
Government, stay the heck out of our free speech. I don't care what motivates you. If Joe Q. Jihadi wants to go on there and says, I'm planning to go blow up Times Square, blah, 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 on such and such a date. Okay, be ready for it. Go after that guy or that gal. I mean, stop handcuffing
wasn't
yourself in
sexist
the
with
front. I
about
mean,
terrorism.
you
That's
know,
pretty impressive.
you go into a movie theater and you yell fire, and everybody goes ah, and they're all trying to get out the door, and Joe's in the way, and it's like, man, we're all gonna die.
I've done that before.
You have, and I bet that was a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm just saying that
I met his first girlfriend.
free speech is okay
My
to
only girlfriend.
have, and we know how to reject destructive speech. We know that people in white supremacist groups, or we've seen it with the Black Lives Matter crowd. And I know I'm going to get an error from Stephanie. Oh my gosh, or Cindy, whatever. It's like I've got to look at their side of the equation as well.
David's talking smack to you, by the way.
Is he really? Come
He
on.
said, wrong. Terrorist threats are not covered under free speech, Steve. It is
We'll
not,
argue about that on the next one, David. Thank you very much.
it's not free speech to stand up in a crowded theater and yell
It's
fire.
illegal, right?
Well, of course
Yes,
it's
it
not.
is. I remember
It's
that.
it's
Oh, he
destructive
talks.
or hazardous
He
stuff.
does, I know,
He's
oh my
not.
gosh.
He's alive. Look at him.
But at the
I
time,
try to be a law-abiding citizen.
but at the time you make a statement like that, what
I
are
know
you
what
going
not
to
to
do?
do.
Right.
You know, it's-
I think it's becoming apparent who's here for the free wine. That's all I'm going to say.
oh man,
Me and this guy right here.
Yes. All right. So, any new? I see new comments rolling by there. It's not free speech. Stand up. Okay. Pablo. Oh no, that's at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, you need to scroll down.
Yeah.
Producer,
I don't know. I don't
producer
know what's
girl.
going on with the
Scroll
feed.
down.
So Don tuned back in. That's good.
There we go. Yeah.
There we go.
The screen really does add 50 pounds.
The screen
It does.
adds 50 pounds.
I'm on. Oh my god.
How many
I
cameras?
should
are
have worn
on us?
black, but it's
Well,
still
maybe
Yeah.
you guys.
I
I'm
don't want
fine.
white.
Yeah.
Whale white.
Unfortunately, believe me, I'm not this
You just
natural
keep
person.
looking at the camera. You're like,
I'm-
man, I look
I'm
good.
amazed at
Yeah,
myself.
hey, all right.
Let's talk about fashion.
Yes. Let's talk about fashion.
Let's talk about being fluffy.
Yes.
Oh,
Hey.
we both wore white too.
Connor
Hell,
McGregor's
he's
very
skinny
fashionable.
guy.
Let's not go down that
Oh,
route,
This
Joe.
guy's size 30
Twelve-
weights next to me.
twelve-
Let's not go down that route, Joe.
Conor McGregor fans.
Let's-
All right.
let's not go down that route. I'll
yes,
see you guys
yes,
later.
Yes,
I'm out of here.
Let's talk sports, politics, and religion, right?
That's right.
That's not sports,
Oh, okay, sorry.
young lady.
I'm
David
sorry.
said, still love you, Steve, my brother from another mother. Don said, I was in the whole time. It didn't register if the show is just in the corner. Okay. So I guess you minimized it, is what you're saying. You were paying attention to other stuff. I see how much you love us, Don. You probably have 500,000 viewers right now. And it went down?
Oh no.
Oh,
Nice.
We're
crap.
slacking. We're gonna have to have a meeting.
That's right. We're going to have a meeting.
Somebody's getting fired.
All right, that's right.
That's right. So anyway, we've been talking about freaking healthcare. So what's the fix? I mean, like, look, I'm not for government subsidized healthcare. I'm not. Name one thing, anybody who's watching the show right now, name one thing that the government does efficiently, effectively, and conscious. Name one. One. If you can name one, I may be interested in hearing your argument for government subsidized healthcare.
David is gonna chime in. I knew it. I just knew it. I can
There
feel
won't
it.
be anything,
He's
I promise.
thumbing the message right now as we speak.
Let me drink my healthy wine.
Right,
That's right.
Yes.
as we drink our healthy wine, which, by the way, this is freaking amazing wine.
Someone commented.
It
It's
is
quite
good.
good.
It really
Oh,
is
war.
good. Thank you.
War. It's not.
War.
It's not cost effective, Don. That's why I said that. It's extremely expensive, and I would also submit that the military, which is probably the best argument for what government does well, isn't government ran. That sounds.
It's under
listen.
civilian authority though, but that was by
Well,
design.
Listen. No, what I mean by that is this: it's not a republic. It's not a democratic republic system. It is a freaking authoritarian system, right? In other words, everything that's great about how the military works is because there isn't a, I get to vote on it, right? No, you're going to do this, and if you don't, I'll court-martial you. Right?
Well, that's internal to the military, but the thing
That's
is,
what I
is
mean.
that the military operates under the civilian authority, namely the president, and the policy. Sometimes the thing where
Listen,
we get
listen.
into,
I have to be clear in what I meant by
sure,
that.
go ahead. And then
That the government, the president, the House, the Senate, isn't sitting around calling the shots on how war is conducted. Now, that's debatable.
yeah, but it's I can bend your way. Yes.
Right, so it's debatable, but generally speaking, especially in an actual war scenario, generals etc., are given authority to conduct the war as they see most effective.
We
to
have gotten
get the victory.
very, very good at the military that, as it stands now, has gotten very, very good at being the pointy end of the sword. If there's something that needs to go away, it can go away. If there's something that needs to be assisted with, certainly there's been some wiggle room around where the military has been used as handing out MREs and bottled water in stricken areas because of simply the logistical capability. You could park an aircraft carrier up against the side of a wharf in a place where the earthquake just happened, and they could power the whole damn city. Okay, and that is to assist in getting infrastructure done. But I tell you what, if something else breaks out, that aircraft carrier is going to be out. Cut the ropes, and we're out of here. But it's
my biggest point was that in our government, as we think of government, the three branches of government, right, doesn't run military like government is ran. Military is authoritarian in nature.
Mhm.
There's a hierarchical structure,
Yes.
and the reason why we are good at war is because of that. And if it was ran like our government was ran,
It'd be a nightmare.
it'd be a freaking nightmare.
Right.
Everybody
Right?
was marching down the sidewalk in
Yes,
lockstep.
exactly.
I'm not listening to you.
You know,
Exactly.
yeah.
Right?
Everybody-
I self-identify as a colonel.
I am
Right?
woman.
Was he like
Right?
pulling off a G.I. Jane or
I
something?
don't know.
So,
You can't
I'm the only
identify
girl
as a
here. I'd
colonel,
sit up for the
Joe.
women.
so,
You can't identify
I'd rather
as a
hang
colonel.
Thank you,
out.
Joe.
Yeah, right.
so my
Just-
point
this
was,
means I'm going to put 3 stars on my shoulder, and guess what?
my point
I
was
gotcha.
is that the Don mentioned war, and I'm like, I'm shooting down that we went all around, like took
You
20
shooting
minutes to
down,
shoot
yeah.
that down.
Yeah, sure.
Does
Shoot
it
it
say
down.
that no? The only reason we're good at war is because it's not ran like our government, which is inefficient, ineffective, and spends way too freaking much money. There's nothing the government does good. Nothing. That's why our founding fathers said we need as limited as government as possible. And even in that limited, massively limited government, we need a hell of a lot of checks and balances to make sure that that limited government doesn't get out of control. So I'm against government, which means I'm against government-sponsored health care. What the hell are they doing in health care?
What does that mean? You're an anarchist?
I'm a libertarian, man. I'm like,
Okay.
One of those.
I'm a conservative libertarian in that I really don't trust government, period. I operate from that position in all things.
You have a
I
healthy
don't trust-
pessimism.
Right.
And you know what? That's a good thing to have nowadays because it puts a lot of things that they do in perspective. Now, I'm a hard and down, true conservative. Okay, the Constitution is basically the Bible that governs that ideology, and you can say I'm an originalist, a purist when it comes to okay, if it ain't in there, you ain't gonna do it. Okay, if we put a Texas twang on it, that's what I'm
I
gonna
ain't
support.
gonna do it.
Not gonna do it.
No.
So what we have is a lot of people that maybe mean good, but that's the tyranny is often based on good intentions. Sometimes it can morph into your good intentions can really quickly morph into tyranny, and I'm opposed to that. I'm saying, hey, we need to kind of slow down here. Not slow down to not do it, but slow down. Let's think about this. But we've got guys in there right now that are looking to vote on this AHCA plan. And if I was Senator Williams, guess what? It's going to get a big fat no. Simply because of a few things. Like I told you before, if I was king for a day, those tax revenue provisions that carried over from Obamacare, if I could strike that and do that, then I might give it a look.
All
But
right,
until
so
that's what we would do.
some comments. Don chimed in. Don Kozlowski said, fighting to protect our freedom, a strong defense, is cheaper than someone invading us and each of us defending our own individually, our own home individually. David said, right on, Don.
Right.
Right? I definitely believe in a strong military. Don't get me wrong on that point.
I've got a good one for that.
I've got a tall
Okay.
fence and a slingshot ready for that.
All right?
Good go.
Yeah.
You're sure your name's not David?
Jo-
No.
Joe's first
a
comment of the
slingshot?
entire
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. No. Where's his? I'm all
I
alone
got a
over
German
here.
I
Shepherd
know.
assault
He's here for the
rifles.
wine.
Assault rifles.
Let's go down that route.
I don't need assault
That's
rifles.
But Don
What
then
is
chimed
this?
in and
Military-
said, but definitely
military
not
only.
health care. On that note, allow insurance to cross state lines. Reform lawsuits so there are limits on penalties against hospitals and doctors. A mistake by a hospital or doctor may cost millions, but shouldn't be tens of millions. David then chimed in and said, I would challenge you, Joe, on that assertion. That's been the problem with government and military since before even the Vietnam War.
Okay.
Okay. There is a Gosh, now I'm like all of a sudden. I'm so sorry. There is a military lobby and a military industrial complex. There's a military lobby and a military industrial complex that operates on at least a minimum need of selling arms to nations we have no business being involved with.
Who said that? David?
I don't disagree.
Okay.
I don't disagree with
okay.
that point.
I like David's points, but I have to make a point about this before we get too far off this. Oh my God, I just forgot. Let me have a glass of wine here.
Well, I just want to go to that.
It happens every now and then. It was something you said earlier about. God, I can't even remember. Thanks, David.
Maybe not everybody agrees with it. I'd rather, and this sounds bad, maybe, but someone else fight the war than the U.S. maybe get involved.
So you're in
Yes.
a proxy.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
That's kind of what got
someone
us
else
into
has to get
trouble.
involved other than just us.
That's
That got us in trouble in a lot of places.
That's a whole other subject about how much we should be involved
Afghanistan
in
and all those
overseas.
kind of
Exactly,
things,
exactly.
That's very.
David said there's a constitutional standpoint against the corrupt duopoly. For example, we would
said
not
that
need
before.
to provide so much in military aid to Israel if we stop providing so much military aid to enemies of Israel. Yes, like giving $100 billion to Iran, for instance. Just a novel idea.
That little country in the peninsula of the Persian Gulf, Qatar, gets a lot of green from us, and they hate us. Their leaders have been very vocal about being hateful to us. So, as far as I'm concerned, cut them off.
Right.
Why don't we do that? That takes about 5 minutes on the floor of our elected houses.
Right.
Cut off aid. They have the power of the purse. They can do whatever they want to the money. But why don't they do that? That's a question you need to ask your congressman. Why are you not saying this? Those people that we elected that office are not above reproach, and they are not above taking that kind of a statement.
That's true.
And be very unapologetic about it. When you get a chance to talk to your elected officials, nail them. They may be your friend on and off the clock, but I tell you what, they get paid the big bucks to answer questions like that. And you're not asking the question for yourself. There may be a few people around you. There may be hundreds of people around you. You stand up and you lay it on them, and they need to answer that. And that's exactly how you need to handle those folks.
I do concur.
I concur.
Thank you. Have a glass of wine.
Thank you.
I have a random question, but isn't federal money for freeways and such,
Yeah,
isn't
I
that
think I
all
know what
done
I'm
through
doing
the
over
Department
here.
of Defense still? Is that?
No.
Department of Transportation.
They have the transportation department, and
You're supposed to
those
do this, right?
those funds are either
Early on.
budgeted or appropriated,
late now.
and there's
Yeah.
there's
When you
different
first
funding
opened.
mechanisms
We
for,
added that.
for how they fund things.
I thought it was all
Um,
like to move military.
This is the
if we-
fallacy that from what I understand, take Planned Parenthood for instance. In that AHCA bill,
Sorry.
I looked at it yesterday, and it does say something to the effect about defunding Planned Parenthood. Okay, my first initial question is, okay, define defunding. Let me tell you, there's two ways that they fund things. There's a budget portion of that money. Like Planned Parenthood gets $550 million of your money to kill babies.
Right.
Okay, now no matter how you feel about the abortion issue, that's what they get paid to do.
Right.
And we could have a really good long discussion about that, because I don't look at the moral side of it, I look at the political side of it. I do have a moral position on it, but that's not material here.
Right.
$500 million is what they budget. $50 million is appropriation funds. The way I understood it was explained to me years ago, and that the appropriations, when somebody says, well, we have defunded Planned Parenthood, and they did this a couple of years ago. They tried to throw this over this, and I'm going, yeah, right, guys.
Yeah.
You just got rid of that $50 million because the appropriation process is to fund and defund, and the rules and debate for that at the committee level and on the floor is a little bit different than that big chunk of $500 million that it takes a little bit more to do to get rid of. So they can say, well, I've defunded it, and we took $50 million out of it. In reality, they only got rid of a nth percent of it.
They didn't even
And then
notice.
they got this big chunk of $500 million. It's like, come on, guys. No, you pull the wool over people's eyes too many times, and that what creates this political cynicism that, yeah, you're telling me one thing, well, I don't believe you. Well, you know what? They may not know anything about it when they say that they don't believe it, but you know what? They're right. So, David, I think he's a great asset to have in a discussion like this, because where he understands the constitutional side of this, I'm definitely going to listen to what he has to say, and we'll get things done.
Who's this David?
He's a great
David
guy.
Pitkin,
I
yes.
need to
Saying
meet this
exactly.
guy.
He's on the
Steve.
show a lot.
I need to meet this David guy.
He's on the show a lot, and he moderates our chat as well.
Really?
So he's very involved.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Is he the one with the children in college?
No.
There are a lot of people too.
Okay.
No, he's singing tonight at Casanueva.
Yeah,
Go ahead to Casanueva.
I just gave you a shameless
Dave!
plug here, David.
Where's
You
that
owe me
located?
now.
Where's that
Dave,
lo-
chime in with your shameless plug of location and address on the feed there.
He's thumbing away right now. I can
Right,
tell.
right.
I can just feel it.
Don Kozlowski chimed in. He said competition is good in healthcare, phones, everything. Limiting competition through any means causes high prices and more problems, and more corruption as those special people
That's
bribe politicians. They said bribe, sorry, lobby.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly right. He said, remember how the breakup of Ma Bell resulted in cheaper phone and more choices? Same with insurance. Why limit it to state lines? By the way, same with realtors. Oh, hell. The corrupt,
Oh, here they come.
the corrupt MLS system allows them to charge outrageous fees, which is freaking true.
It is very true. 23
Right.
years in real estate.
Yes, yes.
Euros?
I
Listen,
was.
I'll tell you guys, the little Randall and I have talked about this so many times. Umpteen years ago, you had this little orange book, and it was called a key map. And you kept this in your front seat of your
I
car.
still have one of those.
I do too. You
And-
got the laminated
HCAT
pages?
still uses
Yeah.
quadrants.
Yes,
And-
that's true.
And you had to drive down to the HAR offices and
Yeah.
get your MLS updates.
Yeah.
And just that alone was infinitely more work than now.
Right.
All of it's digital. All of it's
I
online.
highly
By the way,
dislike
we're
realtors, by the way.
unpaused.
You really do?
We're
Yes.
paused?
We're unpaused.
You highly dislike them.
Dislike them.
Uh,
Can't stand them.
Hmm.
We are
That's too bad.
Yeah.
I know a lot of them.
same amount of
Sorry to hear
pay.
Well, no,
Same
they've been on
amount
the
of
show.
pay.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Can't stand them.
What's
Okay.
changed?
Bring them
Digital-
on the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same amount of pay.
Bring them on the show.
3%.
A lot of them are very attractive.
Yes.
Yes, I know.
Well, then I might like those.
3%. They just get the same pay.
Yeah.
They're not driving down to get the key map updates and the MLS updates.
Right.
It's all digital. It's all online.
Sure.
3% is not standard throughout the nation.
Right?
though.
You can even
Huh?
send your clients.
3% is not standard throughout the nation. Some people pay more, some people pay less. Why is it we pay 3%?
I don't know. That's a great question. Why? What do they do now?
It's not-
I
it's
talk to
not-
realtors. They don't even want to freaking go unlock the house.
It's
You've got
not
realty
right.
associates.
It's not
hooks up
True,
there.
regulated.
they give them a list.
Yes.
I mean, it's not regular.
So
They got. I mean, I know lots of realtors.
Yes,
Lots
me
of
too. I know
realtors. And I tell you what, 80% of them, 80%, 20. Don't get me wrong. There's a 20 out there that work and do their thing. 80% are freaking lazy. They are. It's reality.
80% of people in general are lazy, Joe.
That's true.
There
That's
was a
true.
report
It's a
that
Pareto
came
Yeah,
out
map.
but
recently,
they also
Joe.
they work weekends and nights, which I would not want.
This is true.
There is a report coming
Yeah.
out.
Like they
just
didn't know that
recently
getting into
about
the job.
It's true.
how
Right.
prepared college graduates are for real life, and they are nowhere prepared for it.
Bernie
They are
supporters.
so expecting
Bernie supporters.
handouts and
Yeah.
jobs and opportunities.
My
and
daughter
stuff like
was a
that.
Bernie
They don't know
supporter.
how to make it on their own. I mean, they'll
Bernie,
make that
Bernie
happen
or
on their own.
bust.
They don't, and so.
He said Bernie supporters
But-
when I said lazy.
Well, like what Randall was talking about on the college. You know, should you send your children to college? Yes, I said it.
I would
But-
say either a trade school,
Right.
or if they really want to go out and see the world, meet interesting people, and blow them up, join the military. You'll have a lot of fun. So
I was told I need to go to the military for discipline, but
Yeah.
I did go to college
Yeah.
and I dropped out.
Right.
And then I went to work. I worked 60 hours a week in car sales, made a crap ton of money,
Yeah.
but I realized school's easy.
Right.
And I was like, I went back and I nailed it and I got my degree.
Oh.
But I think for a lot of people, they need it. They need to go out in the workforce and see what real life is.
I agree.
And sometimes
well-
the smooth.
Yeah, I know. We probably differ on it, but mainly because we were self-made.
Different
David,
strokes for different folks. Right?
David said, working for a builder, I can vouch for that as well, Joe, in reference to the realtors. Realtors being lazy. He works for a realtor. Yeah, I mean, and he works for a builder.
There you
Yeah,
go.
they are. I know them. They're flaky.
We
Look,
call them bums.
I tell this story. I tell this story. I was calling because I had a client that we'd helped repair their credit. Still owned to this day, Improve My Credit USA. And I had helped this client, my staff had helped this client get his credit repaired. Great credit, didn't have a realtor, wanted to buy a house. And I called 15 realtors in Houston who didn't answer their phone. 15.
Voicemail full, that irritates the snot out of me. I'll fire a realtor in a heartbeat.
Couple of them with voicemail full.
Builder.
Right?
Yeah,
Before I got a hold of the 16th person who turned down the referral. I have a buyer, great credit, wants to buy a house. You're the first guy I got a hold of. Look, Joe, I'm sorry. I'm just really too busy right now. I can't handle any referrals. Just being honest with you.
Wow.
If you gave me the referral, I would just end up referring it out to somebody else. Thanks for your honesty. I'm going to go ahead and find another person.
Well, at least he was honest.
What kind of house is it?
I said, of course you're too freaking busy. You're the only person answering the freaking phone. Right? Oh my gosh. I've had so many people, so many realtors try to defend the idea that they don't answer their phone. They're like, well, I return phone calls these times of the day. You're a business owner.
No, that's fake news.
You're a business owner.
That's fake news.
I'm like, is there, you know what? The people at Best Buy are busy. They have customers. They're doing stuff. You know what? They still manage to answer the dang phone.
The problem is,
What the hell's wrong with you?
Joe, take
Oh
a
my
breath.
God.
Joe, take a
Or-
breath. Have
or-
a sip of
have a
wine.
sip of
voice-
wine.
I'm going to drink her wine. I already killed mine.
Have a sip of her wine. She's fine.
You're turning as red as your shirt.
Yeah. I'm like, you're running a business. If you cannot afford to hire an employee, you're not a successful business owner. You're spending money that you don't have.
Joe, the
I'm gonna
problem
take a
is,
picture of this.
take a picture of it real quick.
super
The
red.
problem
That's
is,
incredible. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right, look.
I'm still
I'm
gonna
doing
be more
great.
red than you
I
are,
got
so
you.
you're-
It's true. I'm doing great. We
anybody, okay.
Don't hang it.
Don't leave me hanging.
That uncomfortable silence was brought to you by.
Joseph. Oh, him? Okay, yeah, him. The problem is these realtors, the problem is that they feel like the buyers or sellers work for them, and it should be the other way around. So they feel they take this, you know, high ground or whatever, and they say, you know what, I'm the man or woman or whatever gender you identify with. So, you know, I don't want to offend anybody. So, you know, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, I don't answer the phone at this and this time. You know, that's your boss. The buyer or seller is your boss.
'Cause you're
You
working-
answer the phone. If you had a 9 to 5, you would answer the phone if boss man or woman or gender fluid called. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
Non-binary.
I think we're also kind of stereotyping too. I mean, there are still realtors out there that do not pre-qualify people before they even heard their story and all that kind of stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I think those are hustlers. I mean, I've, you know, at a young age, I went to a Mercedes dealership, sat around, walked around all the cars, and no one approached me. But I tell you, the guy that did approach me,
I've
ended up
done
being
that
the
before.
sales manager.
I've done
and he
that
sold me a
before.
car, and I bought from him again.
Anytime I'm gonna buy something, I go looking like a bum,
Yeah.
and nobody pays any attention to me. Or if I go to the mall, and I don't want the people in the middle bothering me, I wear bum clothes. What's going on over there?
My daughter's laughing.
I
I don't want the people in the
and
middle.
nobody
That's
bothers
so
me.
perfect.
I walk
That's
right
awesome.
on by, and nothing
Yeah.
ever happens.
Don't make eye contact.
Right,
No,
right.
I make eye contact. I'm hoping that
Help
maybe
me
they'll
out.
ask me, because it affects me when you got the samples of the cookies. Then nobody comes to me. I'll still want to sample
Those
cookies.
kiosk people to get you every day. I don't
They
care
do.
what you look like. They're
People
good.
have
I need
the
them to work for
built-in
me.
They just want to have eye contact. I
Yes.
want them to be looking at the
visual
ground.
thing.
Listen,
They're visually stimulated.
We can rail. I
So,
love railing on
that's a good
realtors. I really
point.
do. Here's my big beef with real estate agents is that they don't. They like to have the idea of being an entrepreneur. They love that idea. They're all. I mean, they embrace it fully, but they don't embrace the idea that they're running a business.
Right.
That it's like by being an entrepreneur, what I really mean is I want to be able to have margaritas at 2:00 in the afternoon,
Yeah.
and not answer my freaking phone.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to.
right.
Now I get it. And now I see where your frustration comes in.
Right?
Right.
In reality, it's no different than if you had a brick and mortar just like
Right.
Best Buy. And customers expect,
Okay.
right? I can't open any business today that a customer wouldn't expect to be able to pick up the dang phone and call me and get some sort of communication going on.
That,
At least a
Right?
text.
Yeah.
I'll call you right
At least a
now.
text, something.
Right.
I've had so many make excuses about, well, you know, I'm in closings, I'm doing this. I don't care if you're in a closing.
Right.
You're a business, right? And it'd be no different than if somebody at Best Buy said, well, I had customers in the line. How do you expect me to answer the damn phone? I got customers in line. They're buying stuff from me.
Joe, take a sip of wine.
I feel bad because it is
That's
wine.
hers.
Take a sip of wine.
Well, that's
No.
it. Y'all are done.
I'm stepping on toes.
Well,
I totally get it.
Only because, like, for me,
Just give Joe the bottle. Let him
for
smell
me,
the fumes.
When I'm with,
If Ken were here, he'd be sucking the last little few.
Well,
on the
you
rest
Thank
of
you.
this.
Thank you.
only
You're very welcome.
in
That's it.
defense
We're
of
done.
some people, like for me, like for instance, now if my phone rang, I'm not going to answer it. It rang earlier while we were in the other room. I didn't because we were actually having a conversation and you're right in front of me.
And I
address
get that.
the person that's directly in front of me, but I do call back and text and all
But
the
listen,
thousands.
But Joe,
Listen, hang on. I will tell you.
Thousands.
I will tell you. Listen.
Hundreds.
I totally want to hear your
That's
point.
different
I
from
absolutely do.
thousands.
I'm going to
That's-
you.
I was being
that's
sarcastic.
fake
I'm
news.
going to you
I was
right after
being
this.
Fake
Listen,
news.
Sorry.
I will tell you, I have sat in front of, and I know the top income earners in the city in real estate. I know them personally. I can name the top 3 right now, right? And I guarantee you, every single one of them has an employee that answers the phone.
But they can afford it.
And I will tell you that as a business owner, you make sacrifices
Right.
to build a business that actually runs effectively and efficiently.
Right.
And part of that is that somebody answers the damn phone.
Got it.
Sorry for the, cursing here, but I'm
Sure.
passionate about this.
I get
I
it.
drove around in a freaking 20-year-old Toyota Camry with no AC while I built
I still got one of those.
while I built a company that became a multi-million-dollar company, and it was the consumer voted #1 in Texas 4 years in a row, #1 in America, and I was dead broke and busting my butt to build that company because I know what it means to build a company.
Right.
All right, I could have very easily sucked off the money that I was going to pay that staff member and went and hung out on the frickin' patio and had a margarita and enjoyed myself. But I knew what it meant to build a company. That's what I talk about when it means as an entrepreneur.
Right.
These guys that call themselves realtors love the idea of being a business owner, but they have no concept of what it actually means to build a business.
That it makes total sense.
All right?
I do get that.
So, you know what? You're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have, and I've heard so many of the top realtors say this. I couldn't afford it. It was the hardest decision I made to hire somebody.
You have to. I'm there now.
But you have to. You must. You know what? You're
You
going to
hired?
sacrifice. You're not going to live at the income level you want to. You're not going to have that extra cash in your pocket in order to build the business. To build a business. It's such a pet peeve of mine.
You got an
So,
application? I can fill
Joe's
it out.
wanting to go to work for Amber as it is right now.
Hey,
So,
I'm
but
already mowing her
Justin,
lawn, okay?
Justin had a comment.
Well, no,
What?
before you
Justin had
went
a comment.
before you went to the
don't think
building the
you want me
business,
cleaning your pool.
you know what you mentioned. I just was gonna segue into dialing, press 1 for this, 2 for that, 3 for this, and 5 minutes to get a hold of somebody in India.
Yes.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
So
I mean that's
frustrating.
that's another thing you go on.
Oh yeah, that's an absolute beef, 100%.
Yeah.
Nobody wants
The
the
convenience of communication these days has been exponential since the mid-90s when we started having these things in our pockets. Or if you remember the brick phone, with the base unit and the curly cute little
I don't think I'm
cord
old
on
enough
there.
for that.
Two-way
If you remember
pages.
all the,
Two-way pagers. I'll
Right.
be with you in a second. You're
Oh.
sitting next to me. All right.
I mean, the
only remember the one-way page,
convenience
right?
of
I saw it skip
communication is
that.
born into this. Well, I already know who's calling me. I'll call them back later. You're able to defeat that, and get back to them on your terms. You're thinking that you've lost control if somebody's calling you if you're a realtor or in some kind of a business where you provide a service. So, it has changed. It has created this industry where you might need to get an assistant to handle all the communications, and you
Right.
go out and do the closing and the deals and all this
Right.
other stuff. So
Because
it
that
is a
important.
challenge.
For all the
And
reasons.
where the convenience of communication nowadays has created a I wouldn't say deficiency or inefficiency. It's created a way to screen your workload. Basically, if you don't want to talk to them right away, you can hit decline,
Thank you.
leave a voicemail, and I'll get back to you on my convenience. So
Thank you.
if they don't really see, and they don't see that you just hit decline, they just say no, that it just rolled over to voicemail.
But like for me, I'm like right now, literally like the thing. But it depends on what industry. I'm not making up an excuse. I really want to hire someone.
She's making
You're
excuses.
making me feel guilty because I feel
Right
bad
here.
because like right
She
now.
likes her margaritas on the patio.
No,
Yep.
no, I do,
Yes, she
but I
does.
take my phone with me, so I
Oh.
can respond. I'm telling you,
You don't need to justify it.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
okay.
Oh, and
I
I'm definitely
know,
not
you're
good
making me
looking
feel
when it
bad.
comes to cleaning.
if you knew how many
That would
people
look
I
bad.
do respond
Look
to
ugly.
on a daily basis.
Listen, I know.
Look,
First
I
of all,
answer
you
my
know
phone
I
in the
love
shower.
you,
Yeah.
right?
I got a
So-
waterproof. I answer my phone in the shower. What's
Could be
going
a
on?
job. If you hurt, call
You
me
know,
about your resume.
I don't care. I mean, you know what's going on? I'm bathing. Can I help you? I mean,
That's gonna be a great
that's
experience.
customer service right there.
That's what I want.
That's customer service right there.
Oh yeah.
You want good customer service, Joe? Give me a call.
I'm telling you. Listen, the mistake that so many people make. The mistake that so many people make is understanding that you must, at the beginning, it's a principle from the 7 Habits of the Highly Effective. You begin with the end in mind, right?
That's true.
And
You
so
begin-
you begin with the end in mind,
Okay.
right? So you should set out. I don't care what the business is. You should set out in describing for you what the ideal business looks like for you. What is the if I had unlimited funds, what would my business look like today?
Right.
Right? And then every day I'm going to measure myself between where I'm at and what that looks like.
Right.
Right? And that means that, you know what? When somebody calls me, they're getting a phone call answered.
Right.
Period. Right? And that may mean today I have no money and I can't convince anybody to work for me for free. Right? So today I'm answering the phone in the showers. Right? That's what it may look like. Right?
You know what the guy
Because my
You
ideal
put a
business,
Ziploc bag over the phone. It's good to go.
because my ideal business,
a Ziploc bag.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're good to go.
my ideal
learning
business
so
has
much.
somebody answer the phone every
I'm
day.
schooling you right now. Pick up this
I
knowledge.
am.
Joe.
So
iPhone 7, it's good.
that's
Someone's
Oh.
calling you. Someone just
Oh.
called you.
Gets good
Pick
calls
up
on
the
the
phone.
phone.
That's a solicitor. I don't follow this practice.
See what I mean?
I hate those solicitors.
Yeah, screw
Although I
them.
love them.
You like your
I know that they're
margaritas on the
hustling.
porch.
See?
You
I
like
hate
your
them.
margaritas on the porch.
Every last one of my deals, you know, my caller ID, it rolls a voicemail, and that's a
See?
whole other.
Heck with the solicitors.
I don't want the
If I don't have
the
you-
Ramada Inn package or whatever the heck they're
Right.
trying to sell.
If your name is not in here, I did not give you my number.
Yeah, but if
Yeah.
it did say somebody's name, I might text
Listen.
you
You'd say,
Listen, if you have somebody answering the phone for you, you don't have to deal with the solicitors. I'm just saying. Right?
Yeah.
I've got staff out there
Okay.
right now that answer the phone, and believe me, they're freaking awesome. Nobody gets through. Nobody gets through. If they get to me, they need to talk to me.
Yeah.
But the girls are weeding them out. They know how to do that. So
Yeah, I've called looking for you, Joe. That's for sure. Like no matter what time I call, Joe's always in a meeting.
that's right. Joseph Moncada, cut him off.
He's always in a meeting. He's not in a
Let's
meeting.
get to the point where someone answers the phone for you, and you can be in a meeting when you're really out playing golf or drinking
Yes.
wine.
That's right.
Like
Anybody,
Donald
you
Trump.
know,
Donald Trump
I'm-
out there
this-
always playing golf.
Hey,
Oh.
This
There we
is
go.
a-
There we
Hey,
go.
Joe.
There we
Now,
go.
now I know.
this is a meeting, all right?
Yeah, we're having a
We're
meeting.
meeting right
Who-
now.
Who in this community that we all probably know of for a bazillion years? I remember watching him do commercials on Paul Bosch's Sunday morning wrestling show here in Houston. But he always used to have this quick wit and this way of doing business. The perfect business model that I think for somebody out of this community is Jim McIngvale.
Yeah, I always think
Jim
of him.
McIngvale, if you ever
Yes.
went to his original location before, he
awesome.
built the big place.
Yes,
He's a mentor
it's
for me.
there.
If you go up to the aisle or the place where where all the cashiers are, and his little cubicle was right there in the corner, and he took markers and he would mark up on the wall these inspirational sayings. And I mean, if you've ever gone to some of his discussions, the guy knows how to
I
sell.
love him.
The guy knows how to motivate, and he has people. He brings in what you would consider unhireable
Yeah.
people. If you've ever gone in there to try to buy any furniture, you are not going to get out of there without buying something.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You're not going to leave his business without identifying a need. Let me try to find a way to fit that need. You're thinking about it? Okay, well, hey, let me show you what it is that we can think. What can we support in that way? And he is standing right there
Yes.
every cotton picking day.
Baby
And
does.
he doesn't stop. And so he has built this business that I consider, and he's gone through his own little personal problems. You've seen about the things. And
Actually, Invoice Gallery Furniture.
yeah, yeah, check on that. But
Jim's a friend of
it never ceases to amaze me. Every time I hear him do an ad, now he's got his daughters coming in and doing the ads for all
So,
the little other places like in the gallery.
We're like way over time. It's
Oh,
like
really?
it's like 6:20.
It is? Oh my gosh.
That's that's how it works.
I was just getting
So-
started, Joe.
I know you finally
Really?
started talking. Y'all like chimed in like the last.
Well,
frickin'
the
20
wine
minutes.
ran out.
That's
Right.
well, their wine kicked in.
That's what it was.
The truth serum.
So
I came late. I'm sorry.
So
It's my
fun
fault.
story,
I'm a
just
slow
real
starter.
quick. Jim Mackingville. Many years ago, I was in a computer business, and my business partner at the time was ranting about how much he liked Jim Mackingville, and I said, he was my mentor, and I worked very closely with him. And he's like, oh, come on, BS, I'm calling BS on this. I'm like, no, seriously, I worked very close. He said, I will give you $100 right now if you could get me lunch with Jim Mackingville. And I went, yeah, can I speak to Mr. Jim Mackingville, please? Yep. Yeah, Joe Orsack? Yep. Hey, Mr. Mackingville, I got my business partner here, a good friend of mine, says it's absolute BS, I don't know you, and that he would pay me $100 if I can get you to go to lunch with us. Well, are you up for that? Because I would love to make $100 off my business partner. Fantastic. What time? Yeah, all right. Done. We're meeting at Steak and Ale on this date, right? And it was like back in the 90s.
Right.
And the whole time, it was Steak and Ale, yeah.
Across the way.
And the whole time, my
Steak and
business
Ale.
partner thought I was totally BSing him. And we show up, and in walks Jim, sat down, and he goes, all right. Handed me $100 right there in front of him.
Hey.
That's
Yeah,
not an
yeah,
icebreaker. I don't know what
But
else.
did you pay taxes off that $100?
Hell no.
You're not paying your fair
It
share,
was
Joe.
less than
IRS.
it was less
You're
than
not
$600.
paying your fair-
It
Wait,
was
wait, oh, hey, somebody's calling
The
you.
IRS is watching you,
It
Joe.
was less than $600. So we had lunch and had a great lunch and got to shoot the bull with him. Jim was a great guy,
Yes.
super hard working. I tell you what, never get on the other end of a couch with this guy, because I have been on the end of the couch when the truck shows up and we're unloading. Orsack, over here! And I'm like, oh God. And he's a pretty big guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he grabs his couch, and at practically running speed, we go flying through the store. And I'm on the far end of the couch. I can't see things
Right.
underneath the
Yeah,
couch.
'cause you're kind of a, yeah.
It was like running a hurdle relay with a couch over my head. I'm like, oh dear God, Ottoman, oh, chair, while holding a couch. Great experience. I've got tons of great stories.